Hey guys, and welcome back. And as you may be able to hear, slight difference in the audio quality here. I did pick myself up a new mic. Hopefully the audio quality is much better than it was before. But today, we are going to be building up a deep storage vault down below the base, as I mentioned when I built up the storage room over here. So we are going to go ahead and do that over a time lapse, as most big projects around the castle are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So before I get into the time lapse of building up the deep storage vault, I do need wood in order to make the chests. And without a tree farm, my best option to make the chests is to cut down a forest. This really highlighted the need for me to make my tree farm. So either this episode or next, I am going to have to get the pumpkin farm in so I can keep up with the bone meal and get the tree farm in. So, with that on the agenda, let's dive into the actual time lapse and get started building the deep storage vault. Hi, Future Grim here. And in the time lapse you're about to see, you're going to notice the hole gets about halfway dug, and then it's going to cut to a point where the hole is dug and we're already building the deep storage vault. That's because, like an idiot, I forgot to hit the record button on my replay mod before I did all that work on Sunday. So, sorry none of that made it in, but we'll have to make do with what I have. Without further ado, let's jump into the time lapse actually this time. And here we have the deep storage vault is complete. I did this over on a live stream on Twitch as well as doing it over the time lapse. So if you like that kind of thing, you may want to check me out over there. There is, of course, a link to my Twitch account in the description below. This thing is truly massive. It is a total of 2,200 double chests. So there is a ton of storage down here. And if I run out of storage down here, I can probably just let items die because I will have far more than I need there. I also have far more individual stacks here than I have for the filters to go into the deep storage vault from the sorter up top, which means I can have multiple stacks for each item that I'm pulling out of there for the deep storage vault, which means that is just an absolute ton of storage for each item. So with that, it's time to go get some work done on my iron farm. Okay, we're back at my industrial area, and as you can see, we got zombies again, and some are missing again already. So, how to get this thing back up and going, because I kind of used most of my iron building up that deep storage vault. So I'm going to leave this system in place until I figure out what's happening to all my zombies, just pain rebuilding and everything. But I did find out what is happening to them, and I was right about the iron golems. So, occasionally as the iron golems would spawn, they would hug this wall right here, and then as they would drop, they would land right here. From there, they would just sort of walk right on out, and then they'd start hitting and killing my zombies. So, I'm going to wall all of this off, but I also noticed another issue I'm having is the iron golems will spawn, and they'll spawn too close to this wall, and instead of actually coming forward and falling in, they'll just kind of stick here and take suffocation damage, and eventually they would die, and anything that would drop would come down here. And we don't want to get caught in there, but the iron ingots would be incinerated by the lava before they would go down into the storage room. So, I think what we're going to do to fix that is we're going to take probably dark oak fences, all the way down. That should stop them from suffocating in the walls, and that should also stop them from being able to get on those platforms and kill my zombies. And while we're over here, let's see how the honey farm has been doing. I haven't really been checking this too much, so it's probably, yeah, it's right full here. Let's take care of that while I'm here. Alright, the honey's been cleaned out, and we had over 2.5 stacks of honey in there, and glass bottles have been put back in. So that system is off and running. And apparently I need to come back here with some shulker boxes because the kelp farm is completely full, and you can see they're all just collecting there and despawning through the time. So I'll have to fix that. Don't think I showed this system off. This is just the flower farm I have to be able to make various dyes and stuff. I ran it for a few minutes just to see what the rates were, but I do have issues with the flowers getting caught on top of the dispensers and underneath the hoppers, and then they just die up there, so probably going to do a little bit of reworking to prevent that, but for now, it works just fine. So how that works is I throw that switch. As you can see, that creates hopper clocks, powering the bone meal into dispensers. And then I have a bunch of minecart hoppers down here collecting them and feeding them into the hoppers and into the chest. Pretty simple design. And now we're over here and just checking out a little bit of AFKing I've done over here since I've gotten the iron farm back and running. And I've gotten quite a bit of iron, actually, which is awesome. So once this system is fully put back together, that will produce a ton of iron because this iron farm is really good. And here we are at the updated iron farm. As you can see, I've done the dark oak fences all the way around. There we go, around there. Obviously, I gotta have some wood slots in there so the zombies can see the villagers and make them panic. But other than that, this farm runs pretty good. I do have a couple of issues here. First off, occasionally I get an iron golem that decides to either spawn or land here. So that means I'm going to have to take these all the way up. In addition, I'll jump down here. It's a little more obvious here. I had a bit of a brain fart when I was building this thing because these things don't line up Exactly. They come over here, and then the other side is shifted over that way a couple of blocks. So I need to either fix that or leave it. And I'm leaning towards fixing it, even though it's going to be a huge hassle, just because it will end up bothering me. So it's probably going to get fixed, and yep, I missed a log when I was deforesting, so that's just hanging out in the air there. So there's that. And this farm, I've only done a few hours of AFKing, but this farm is actually producing quite a bit. Now, I didn't clean this out from last time, so these numbers... How did... I get that I have black carpet from up there that probably broke when I was breaking things, but that should have been incinerated by lava. That is a magic carpet right there. It is producing quite a bit, actually, so that is quite awesome. And I have a zombie here to kill. So with that up and running, I can actually produce quite a bit of iron once again, so I will have no more worries with iron. And with that out of the way, it's time to work on the next project. And that is going to be the Royal Library, which is this wing here. So this is going to be done in layers. So this first layer, we're going to be doing, obviously, the library. Then we're going to have a little secret entrance over here to get up to the second layer. And that's going to be a villager breeder from probably here forward on the second layer. And then from there, that way, is going to be a villager trading station. And we're going to take that probably, I think, 3 layers total, including that second, third, and fourth layer. Looks like I should be able to get about 3 layers in of the villager trading station. And then this wing will be complete. So let's dive right into it. So first thing we need to do, we got to get rid of all these slabs. So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you when that's done. And there we have it. All the slabs are gone. So the next step is to put all the barrels down underneath the wool like that, because the wool is just here as I was planning out the layout for the library. So once we get all the barrels down underneath it, we can get rid of all of the wool. And then we can put all of the bookshelves, all of these guys, on top of the barrels to finish out the library. So let's get the barrels in and get the wool out, and I'll see you guys then. Okay, the Royal Library is done. As you can see here, all the bookshelves and everything are in, and I even got the secret entrance in over here. I'm probably going to swap that button out with the spruce button. It'll probably match the bookshelves a little bit easier. But to get in, you would just push that button, hop on in, and this will be the staircase up to the second layer. And then to get out, I push that button there, and out we go. So now I need to get the second layer built. So let's get that done. And here we are back at the library. So we'll take you through here and show you the systems. So if we go this way, I had to swap that barrel out for a wooden planks, and I'll show you why in a second. If I get in here, perfect. So this guy became a fisherman because he could access that barrel. And I don't want that to happen. I want them to have no trade when they get down here. So didn't want that to happen, so we swapped that out for our planks. And this is where the children will end up as the guys up there breed. And we'll go through here. Open up my secret entrance, which is fully hooked up. Through the button door so the villagers don't go wandering off. So how this villager breeder works is these guys will apparently lay halfway into a bed. But they'll grab all the carrots. The farmer will grab all the carrots. He'll share his bits with this guy here. That will make them fall in love. And when they love each other, they produce a child. The child will think he can get to these beds here, but he can't because he'll fall down there, and that's where I showed you before. Like that. Another button door. And this here is going to be the first layer of the villager breeder station. We're going to do this layer, we'll do one on top of this layer, and then we'll do a third layer on top of that. So going to be a lot of villagers in here to trade with, and get all the good bits. So, time to move on. Alright guys, the first layer of my villager trading station is sort of in. So what'll happen is, from down here, whoop, once these guys grow up, I'll have a minecart come down that should pick them up right there and bring them back up. That I'm not going to be able to get up there, am I? I don't have the glass. There we go. So that'll be out, so that'll stop them. That guy will change him into a zombie. After which, I can flip that and push that button. I'll have to replace a rail there every time. They'll come out to here, stop. I'll be able to make sure those are closed. I'll be able to break that minecart, and then they will wander down this way. They should come all the way around to the first trading station here, or the first workbench. I'm doing a Fletcher first because I'm going to need to get some arrows of weaknesses in order to cure them after they get turned to a zombie, so I will have to do that first, and then we'll worry about changing him after. But then, once I have those arrows of weakness, all future villagers will be turned before they get into their trading station, and that will make life a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to put an item frame right here with that rail that I'm going to have to replace each time. And that way it's always there. So, now we just got to wait for these two guys to pump out a unit or two, and then for them to grow up. Another thing is, I moved all 3 beds over here, because having the beds over there, the children would run and jump on those beds instead of these ones, and I need them to run over that opening and fall into the water. And I also made some change to the holding station, and I'll show you that. Nope, over here. Okay. So, they fall into the water directs them down. As you can see, we have one child in there right now. We're waiting for him to grow up. And then all of that is just for the rail to get them up top. So, let's wait till we have a Fletcher and see where we land with the arrows and weaknesses. And here we have Tony number 1, who we've maxed out, and as you can see, he did not give me the trade I needed. So, sorry Tony. And now we got another one up here, and we go for Tony number 2. Number 2. Tony the 5th. Tony the 10th. And there we go. It took 14 Tonys, but we have our arrows of weaknesses. So, make a bunch of those, and then we're going to start zombifying and curing some villagers. Well, the first zombified and cured villager is in, and I've been trading with him and him to collect a bunch of emeralds, as you can see right there. And I went to give this guy a name like this guy, and I thought, well, why not let YouTube name him? So if you guys have an idea for a name for this guy, leave it in the comments below, and I'll pick one in the next episode, and we'll name him that. And with that, guys, it's going to be the end of the episode here. Thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing so you don't miss my next awesome video. And if you want to see me work live, you can follow me over on Twitch. There's a link down below for that. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Sayonara.